In the Impact segment tonight, two very hot topics, including the Miss Universe pageant reversing its policy and allowing a transgender woman to compete in its contest next month. Very interesting situation. Joining me now from Los Angeles Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall and from Fort Worth, Texas, radio talk show host Janine Turner. Before we get to that, ladies, I know you saw that last segment. I want to ask you, what does Mitt Romney have to do? What can he do to regain favor among female voters, especially female voters under 50? Janine.
Well, I agree with a lot of what Tammy Bruce had to say earlier. Yeah, I think it's, quite frankly, what Romney needs to point out is that it's chauvinistic of Obama to insinuate that all women care about is a uterus. And all this contraception business is a slant to say that women are really just about their uterus. And they're really, women are more concerned in the USA Today poll that's out that's saying that they really care more about health care. And if the top 5 out of 6 things are not contraception. It's health care, deficit, international relations, international issues, things of this nature, fuel prices.
But Janine, so wait, Janine, hold on.
Okay,
so if it's about health care, President Obama is going to say, well, you know what? Women can get preventative care under Obamacare. Your kids can stay on your health care coverage until they're 26. That doesn't sound persuasive to me.
One, what's going to happen with health care is that if your kid needs an MRI or surgery, they're going to have to wait a year to get it. I mean, what's going to happen with health care in a $2,700 bill that nobody understands, even the Supreme Court?
Oh, okay.
We don't know the devastation of how it's going to bring this country down.
You were going to tell me, remember, Janine, you're going to tell me what Mitt Romney's going to say to these young women.
Yes,
I didn't find that persuasive. Okay, so try again.
He's going to prove it's chauvinistic.
I give you a do-over. Go ahead.
Okay, well, it's chauvinistic what Obama's saying, that a woman is just about their uterus. Listen, here's an interesting statistic from the BLS. 740,000 jobs have been lost since Obama took office. 740,000. 683,000 of those jobs were held by women.
Okay.
Women, there are many other issues. Women. Romney needs to point that out.
Leslie Marshall, what should Romney do to try to woo American women, especially young American women, for the fall election?
He needs to move to the center on women's issues, specifically women's health issues. And when you're talking about, which I do not feel the president was saying that we just care about or are all about our uterus, but you know, one, without being gross, a lot of stuff going on down there. Cervical cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer. These are significant health issues outside of contraception, which is inclusive among Affordable Care Act, which is inclusive among the concern with women's health issues. And all we have to look at is from the middle of February, how the numbers from Mitt Romney actually moved over to the president.
Okay, Leslie.
How the shift in those
numbers. But Leslie, I know that what I'm trying to do is how can Mitt Romney fix it? And I'm wondering, what about appointing a Sarah Palin type to be his vice president? What would Leslie say to that?
Well, Juan, let me ask her. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what I'm going to say to that. It's not the gender of the person standing next to him on the platform. It is where they stand on the issues. And one area in America right now, Juan, where we are seeing unity, and I think it's awesome as a woman, is between this gender, we as females, that are standing together, and we're saying, you know what? We don't like being only 18% of the CEOs. We don't like men
but that's not
anybody.
Okay, but that's not Obama's fault. That's not Romney's fault. Okay. Let me just try a different topic with the two of you. Let's watch this segment coming from Barbara Walters having a conversation with Jerma Talakova.
When you had your surgery, what did they do?
The surgery is pretty intense.
So if I saw you undressed, you would look like a woman to me, totally, yes?
Of course.
Okay, now Ms. Talakova was born a man, but she's had the surgeries. Now she's a woman, as you can see. She's had the hormone treatments, and she wants to compete in the Miss Universe. Donald Trump has now reversed the policy, which had been that you have to be born a woman. Trump says now she's eligible. She will compete. What do you say? Janine?
Me? Well, look, as I said last week, it's a private enterprise, and he has a right to set whatever rules and stipulations he wants. So if at first he didn't want it, but now it's okay, that's his prerogative.
But how do you feel as a woman competing against a guy?
Well, you know, I feel that naturally born women are at a disadvantage, especially if they haven't had a breast augmentation and
Jenny,
that
you're at no disadvantage. Let me just tell you. No
yes,
advantage. Leslie, what do you say? Leslie, what do you
the,
say?
The legs and everything. It's like what I said last week.
Leslie?
But you know, bottom line here is I think it's essential that he did switch this, because this is going to happen more. There are more and more people out there that are going to change their gender, and that are going to be able to afford to do it down the road. The transgender community is a part of our society.
This is making me crazy. You know, I'm an old guy, but it's making me crazy. Ladies, thank you so much. Directly ahead, why